It was around 3 in the morning. I was home alone. I left all my lights on because I wanted to look like there were more people in the house. Don't forget that I am 23 and I have a wife. However, my wife was at her mom's elderly home for the night, just to help around. It was getting late and I was getting sleepy and bored, so I prank called some of my friends. After this, I went to sleep for a few minutes, but I was woken up by a crashing noise in my kitchen. Me being a pretty big and buff 23-year-old, I go down and look around, only to find nothing. So I go upstairs and try to go back to sleep. However, there it was again, a smashing noise in the kitchen. But this time it was followed by a male saying, "Fuck not again." So I go down and look. For another time, nothing. This time I went upstairs and got my knife. I went down by the wall waiting for the noise in the kitchen. I heard a knock at the kitchen window only to fucking see a tall male crawling in my window, and I yell out, "What the fucking hell are you doing?" As I held up the knife and all the intruder said is, "Oh, hi." Then he laughed like a lunatic. I said, "The cops are on their way now." With this he laughed and said, "I know you have not called the cops yet." So I knew he has been watching me all night. I ran up my stairs into my room, shut the door behind me, and pulled out my phone and typed in the number 911. After this, the cop picked up and said, "What do you need?" After this, I said, "Send cops, please." After this, lunatic kicked in my bedroom door. Lucky I did not live far from the police station. The guy grabbed me by the neck and slammed me on my floor. Right in time, my front door was knocked down and I heard, "Police on the floor now." This is all true. I have moved from that house. I just wanted to let some people know about this and learn from my mistakes. I still think, what if the cops never got there in time? So this whole thing happened when I was maybe 12. I am nearly 17 now. Me and my sister, who was 14 or 15 at the time, were staying home alone while our parents were at my little brother's hockey game. We lived in a fairly safe neighborhood. Hardly anything ever happened. Everybody knew everybody, and almost everyone got along well and liked each other. So we felt safe, as we didn't have a reason not to. Our front door was locked, our back door was locked, but our side door didn't lock. It was broken. But no one ever used it anyways, so my dad hadn't gotten around to fixing it. Me and my sister were in the living room watching TV and doing homework. When we heard the fence outside of our house making some noise, it sounded like someone had jumped over the fence. So my sister looked through the blinds, and sure enough, someone had jumped the fence. 2 people actually. They were dressed in mostly black, with like a hospital mask over their faces. We freaked out and hid in between the couches in the living room when we heard the front doorknob wiggle. Of course it was locked, so it didn't open, but we knew whoever it was would go to the side door next, and that one would open. In that moment, I was the most terrified I had ever been. But once the door handle started jiggling loud enough, my dogs had woken up. At the time, I had a Tosa and a Rottweiler. Once one started barking, so did the other one. And eventually it just pure chaos. That's when we heard them scream, "Shit, they got dogs." Then we heard the fence make the same noise, as if someone jumped over it again. Later that night, a local gas station near my house got robbed by 2 armed men, and the news reports showed the same people we had seen, same outfits and everything, except this time we got to see their faces. Our dogs truly may have saved our lives that night. The funny thing is, our dogs are the biggest lovers. They may be loud and bark, but they wouldn't bite or attack anybody. This is the one time. I'm very glad that these dogs' breeds are associated with being, quote, scary and aggressive, because clearly they scared off whoever wanted to break in that night. This happened once when I was sick and had to stay home from school. I was home alone for the whole day. I was sitting with my dog when I heard a loud door bang shut. I stood up from my couch to go see what the sound was. I found it was nothing, so I went back downstairs. I didn't find my dog down there, so I went looking for her. I thought I saw a shadow on my way up, which scared the hell out of me. I went to find my dog in her bed, shivering as if someone had scared her, even though no one was up there. I also saw the door was open and clearly saw large black fingerprints on the handle. I grabbed my dad's hammer and slowly advanced to the door. Once I got there, my heart sank when I saw a tall man who was covered in something black, hopping over my fence trying to leave. After that, I never stayed home alone again.